what do you think, Michael? How important is storytelling in marketing? And do you guys use storytelling as well when you are, planning up campaigns for the influence marketing?
Different people creating different forms of content that speak to either large audiences or small. You know, there's a lot of influencers out there, a lot of people that have influence.
In today's digital age, a strong online presence is no longer optional for businesses. According to a recent study by eMarketer, Canadian adults spend an average of 3 hours and 46 minutes per day on digital media.
One of the best sales books out there, in my opinion, is The Little Red Book of Selling by Jeffrey Gitomer. And one of the things that he says in there is, make sure if you're going to sell something that you really, really, really believe in, right?
Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking to elevate your brand's digital presence and achieve measurable growth through influencer marketing, branded content, and other digital strategies? Hi, this is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the dynamic world of digital marketing and uncover the strategies that empower businesses to build brand awareness and engage with their audience and achieve the results they've always wanted. In today's digital age, a strong online presence is no longer optional for businesses. According to a recent study by eMarketer, Canadian adults spend an average of 3 hours and 46 minutes per day on digital media, highlighting the importance of reaching consumers where they spend their most time. Joining us today is Michael Landry, co-founder and CEO of the Influence Agency, a full-service digital marketing firm that specializes in crafting impactful campaigns that elevates brands' digital presence. Michael, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Well, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Great, it's our pleasure. Let's start the conversation by talking about the influencer marketing and branded content. Now, Michael, your leadership in the digital marketing space and your passion for building impactful campaigns makes you an inspiring figure, especially for businesses who are seeking to, up their digital presence game. We're eager to learn from your insights and understand how the influence agency is helping brands achieve measurable growth in the digital landscape. Now, Michael, influencer marketing has become an increasingly popular strategy for businesses, right? Especially to reach their target audience. Now, can you explain what influence marketing is? How would you describe it to a layman? And how can it benefit businesses exactly? And what do you think are some of the key factors to consider, especially when developing a campaign for influencer marketing? So talk about that.
Well, that's a big question. There's a lot to break down, and I know that people only have so much memory and mental energy to take everything in. So
Right.
I'll try to, like you said, explain it like a layman. So influencer marketing is most commonly known as a tactic by which you have somebody that has some form of clout
Right.
advertise your product. Now, when people say influencer marketing, they think a lot about digital and Instagram and millennials perhaps taking pictures of themselves. But influencer marketing has been around since the dawn of time.
Right.
Whether it was, who wore that dress on the red carpet, right?
Right.
Or who was a spokesperson for that brand.
Right.
Influencer marketing is simply about using or co-opting someone's influence to spread your message to an audience that they resonate with.
Definitely. I think I'll give credit to COVID also for that because during the pandemic, literally everyone was using digital platforms so much that the word influencer, everyone started using it to a great extent. Earlier, when we used to use the word influencer, it used to have, a special meaning, a special, something attached to it. Now everyone is using it, literally. What do you have to say about that?
Well, influencer marketing during COVID and into COVID actually started to become a bit of an antiquated term, at least in the industry.
Yeah.
And the focus went from influencer to content creator.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was a big change. But obviously, with more platforms arising and more people taking part on those platforms, different people creating different forms of content that speak to either large audiences or small. You know, there's a lot of influencers out there, a lot of people that have influence. The trick is understanding the degree of influence
Mm-hmm.
that they have,
Exactly.
and how much influence can they have with your brand, right? And there's certain nuance and certain gut feels and certain stats that you have to take a look at to understand what is the right influencer marketing strategy for you, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
And because influencer marketing is so popular and it's a new thing still, relative
It's
to
evolving, yeah.
Google ads, radio,
Yeah.
Meta ads and such, people are quick to think, oh, influencer marketing. Let's just do influencer marketing.
Right.
And so you really have to stop, pause, and think, what is the end goal that you're trying to achieve?
Right.
What stage is your business in?
Hmm.
And what is your budget? And based on that, influencer marketing may be the right thing to do. It may not be the right thing to do. And not all influencer marketing is obviously equal.
Right.
For example, there's the kind of influencer marketing where you're putting a lot of budget behind the production,
Mm-hmm.
and you're paying someone with millions of followers, and that's perhaps one form of influencer marketing.
Right.
Then you have the kind of influencer marketing where you actually don't care for them to post on their channel to their audience. You just want the creative out of it. That's what they call UGC.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the influencer marketing where you're not paying that person for their influence. You're just sending them product, hoping that by their goodwill,
Right.
they'll represent your brand. You have less control over it, but it's more cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have influencer marketing that takes the form of affiliate marketing as well, where you can start to build a grassroots movement with people that have moderate followings
Right.
that are incentivized in various ways to promote your brand, right? And if you've got the right gamification model, the right outreach,
Uh-huh.
and the right stamina, you can start to build a little bit of momentum.
Right, definitely. Very well answered. Now, branded content also plays a very vital role, especially in engaging audiences, right? And building brand awareness. Now, let's talk about the influence agency in particular. How does the influence agency approach creating, branded content that resonates with the target audience and drives meaningful results for your clients? How do you guys do it?
Well, a variety of ways. It'll always depend on the client, right? So it's not a one answer will speak truly to every
Right.
case. But you have to start off, I think, with the notion first that why is branded content important, right? We live in a world full of stock imagery,
Yeah.
and now increasingly AI.
Mm-hmm.
And what are people starved for? Well, people are starved for authenticity.
Right.
They're starved for understanding who the brand really is,
Hmm.
right? So when it comes down to creating branded content, you really want to know what you're trying to communicate first, and then being authentic in the way that you do that. So perhaps branded content takes the form of photography.
Right.
Maybe it's customer testimonials. Perhaps it's corporate profiles.
Right.
Maybe it's a commercial. Maybe it's a web series.
Hmm.
So branded content can take many forms in that photo and video medium,
Definitely.
and it's something that we really push because it's too easy to throw up anything, right? And people can sense when a little bit of extra care and thought go into the media that they're producing and what they're deploying. So at the influence agency, we have a studio. We have full-time videographers, full-time photographers, full-time creatives that make sure that we're constantly churning this out, because all of our customers have social media profiles,
Right.
and they need something to put there. And all of our customers have paid advertising. And well, if you put money behind something, it ought to be good.
Definitely.
So quality is very, very, very important. But you can. I've seen a lot of brands overspend on nothing, which
Right.
is branded
They
content.
don't get ROIs in that, basically.
Well, it's questionable. Like, look at every car commercial you look at.
Mm-hmm.
Name one memorable car commercial that you've seen.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Talk
Because all of them are overlapping in your
Yeah.
brain, right?
overlapping. It's the same car going around
Yeah.
a scenic landscape,
Exactly. Yeah.
talking about perhaps their commitment to this or their fuel
Right.
economy or how family friendly they
The
are.
mileage. Yeah.
But it's a lot of blah blah blah, right?
Right.
Um,
I think
Uh,
marketing is also about storytelling, right? How important do you think storytelling is in marketing, and putting your point across, because as you said earlier, it was just about, when you said branded content, it was maybe a commercial, maybe a radio ad, traditional methods, right? But in today's day and age, even a web series, as you mentioned, can be branded content. So what do you think, Michael? How important is storytelling in marketing? And do you guys use storytelling as well when you are, planning up campaigns for the influence marketing?
So here's a great way to answer that question by telling your users to look something up.
Sure.
There's a video on YouTube. It's old. It's called Project Rebrief,
Mm-hmm.
and it's made by Google. And what they did is they took the old executives of Coca-Cola, Volvo,
Right.
people that made really iconic commercials,
Yeah.
and they had these older guys at that point and girls were 60, 70 years old, sitting with the Google people that were 20s, right?
Hmm.
And so what they tried to do is marry the math men to the madmen, right? The madmen was the storytelling and the ideas.
Got it. Yeah.
The math man was the technology and the
Right.
deployment. I would recommend watching that because you'll see how the art of storytelling and creativity, I think got lost a little
Exactly.
bit,
Yeah.
with the advent of just being able to target digitally.
Right.
But when you marry the two, you can really do some magical things. Now, obviously, the campaigns, if you watch it, were really, really cool, really expensive. And
Right.
that's what happens when you're a big brand plus working with Google, right?
Definitely.
But yeah, storytelling is really key, and being relatable is really key. And even having flaw in your delivery,
It makes it natural.
it makes it
Right?
natural, right? So, when we work with bigger brands, but we also work with smaller brands, and sometimes people get really locked up in front of a camera when they see that red light go on. It's actually a lot harder to speak and deliver as than someone would
You
think.
cannot put your point across as well.
It's tough. It's tough, right? And you get mentally tripped up. And I always say to them, don't worry about it. You're just a human being. You're just a person. And at the end of the day, if you believe in what you are saying,
Hmm.
if you believe in the story you're telling, it'll ring true. Maybe not 100%. No one gets their point across 100%,
Right.
but enough. And it's fine. And the more you practice the storytelling and the more you do it, and the more you pump that out as a brand, you'll constantly get better and better and better at it. And some things will go viral, some things won't go viral.
Right.
But it's okay. I'm sure you have
It's
guests on
not
your
a
show.
validity of, how good your content is if it's going viral.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not the be all end all. It's definitely an indication that the content was good if it goes viral.
Yeah.
But you're not always going to have that moment, right?
Right.
It's not always going to be that case, and you have to continue to practice your craft, right?
Right.
Everyone has to practice, no matter what you're doing.
Definitely, and I completely agree with whatever you said. And also, if you look at the older commercials out there, they used to make you feel an emotion, right? If you look at
Mm.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you remember that Coca-Cola's ad where they, the boy, he goes to the vending machine, he takes out two Pepsis, he puts them on the floor, and then he stands on it just to put a coin and take Coca-Cola out of it. So,
That's brilliant. That's
yeah,
so smart.
right? And
Yeah.
there was this healthy banter between brands back then, and I think that is something that is missing in today's time. And if you talk about Dove, right, the whole concept was making soap feel, milky and not soapy. That was their whole point, and I think they did a wonderful job in doing that. So yes, commercials back then were more meaningful, and now with the digital age coming in, everything is just more targeted and more AI, that you can say. Now, coming back to your business, can you elaborate on your company's full service offerings and how this integrated approach, benefits businesses seeking to elevate their digital presence across all social media platforms? The reason I'm asking this is because a lot of our listeners right now, they'd want to know this to avail the services. So, yeah.
Yeah. So there's two conflicting ways that you can look at things, and both can be right.
Mhm.
But I normally ask somebody, if you had to explain yourself 10 times, is that good or is that frustrating?
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And so, while there's an advantage in going to one company that does only one thing, that really specializes in that one thing, certainly everyone can see the advantage of that.
Right.
The problem becomes when you need that Google Ads company, the Meta Ads company, the website company, the conversion rate optimization company, the SEO,
Yeah.
the content writers, the video creators,
Right.
right? et cetera, on and on it goes. The influencer marketing, the social media management.
Right.
It's hard. All of those things are important when you're doing your advertising. And obviously, if you're a small business, you won't want to do all of that.
Right.
You'll want to do some of that. But the advantage to the influence agency is that we're at 60 people, no sales team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just also I'll say about us just to plug us a little bit, but we're month to month with the vast majority of our clients, right? So
So you guys have no sales team. Did I understand
no.
that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, no sales team. We're actually one of the few advertising companies
Yeah.
or agencies that actually practice what we preach. Look at our socials and look at the socials of a competitor. We're better. Look at our website. I challenge you to find a better website than the one that we have as an agency. You won't. So it's because we practice our own inbound marketing efforts. We don't require a sales team to go out there and
I've met
hunt.
very few people who have actually, said this or implemented this in real life, because everyone says it, but very few people are actually able to apply it in their life. So how is it working for you? But do you not feel that awareness is an issue? Is it not?
Well, we're one of the fastest growing companies
Definitely.
in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And part of what helps us is, one, to not lose clients, to deliver a really great result.
Right.
So the effect of that is obviously that revenue comes in next year as well. But you also get referral traffic, and people learn about who you are.
Yeah.
And so as much as we care about our digital marketing, and digital marketing is great, word of mouth, you can't beat
Exactly.
that, right?
Yeah.
So that's still, so you try to take from all angles. But to go back to your original question, we specialize in 360-degree elevation. So anything you could possibly want to do online,
Yeah.
we do, and we do very well. And that's hard for a lot of people to accept. We were having a couple, consultations with some people out in the advertising world that are very well respected, that have run large, $100 million agencies, and they're like, "What's the one thing that you do really well?" And we're like, "Well, we do a lot of things really well." And I think you have to do a lot of things really well. You can't just be the company that does great videos, because there's a lot of companies that do great videos,
Right.
but they have no idea how to get eyeballs on them. They don't know how to deliver that content.
Right.
And then if they did deliver that content, what was the aim of that? Just awareness? Don't you want some conversions?
Exactly.
Don't you want some online sales? Don't you want phone calls? Don't you want form fills? And I'll say something else that our agency is getting more into, because we track all of the leads and the conversions. We get into, how is your phone answered? How long did it take you to respond to that form lead? How can we help your internal team adopt a proper CRM and use it? Right? Because for us, I'm not going to say the marketing is easy,
Right.
but generating leads, generating interest, and giving our client sales teams the opportunities, that's squared away. That's not easy, but it's very well handled, and leads are going to flow. But then you have to think about how those leads get converted, and what is the quality of those leads. And a lot of times too, marketers don't listen to sales teams, but sales teams have a lot of great input to give on what their customers actually need to be qualified with.
Exactly, because they're talking to them one-on-one.
That's right. And a lot of times there's this conflict between the marketing and sales.
Yeah.
Marketing says salespeople don't know how to sell.
Right.
Salespeople say marketers don't know how to market.
Exactly. It's a blame game that's going on.
It's a blame game.
Yeah.
So in some instances, we're able to have our marketing meetings with both the marketing leaders and the sales leaders at the company. So it gets us all on the same page, all talking the same language. So it's a way that we kind of go beyond just we did your marketing, have a good day, because we're invested in making sure that they see an uptick in their bottom line, because the more money our customers make, the more we can charge them. Right. And I'm very upfront about that. So if I bring a client on, I'm like, this is how we're going to start. Right. This is what I think is going to work. And I want you to know my intention is to make you enough money so that I can charge you for more things.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because,
that's only fair.
If they die, we die. Exactly. If they grow, we grow. Right?
I think that's the best solution that you can offer to someone, because you're thinking of them as it's one entity, you and them, right?
That's right.
If they fall, you fall. If they win, you win.
And it's very important because, aside from just making the business owner happy, right? Or the marketing director happy that you're talking to, how you perform affects the business. How that business performs affects the people that work there. It affects salaries. It affects new hiring. It affects the ability to retain staff. And if you don't do that, the families under those people are not as well off. So actually, as a marketer, especially if you've got the kind of visibility into the business that you want, you have a huge opportunity to not just impact the business positively, but actually see the ramifications of that throughout their organization. It's something that we take very much to heart, right? Because I grew up in a very working class household, and
I get it.
I would always think, why doesn't my dad have more work?
Right.
Well, because the company doesn't generate enough business. Why don't they generate enough business? Well, in their case, they probably weren't marketing at all.
Wow, that's a very candid and fresh perspective, and I loved how honestly you answered that. Now, to our listeners, a comprehensive and integrated approach to digital marketing, it's crucial for, achieving sustainable growth. Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking to elevate your brand's digital presence and achieve measurable growth through influencer marketing, branded content, and other digital strategies? Consider exploring the influence agency's comprehensive services and discover how their expertise can help you achieve your marketing goals. Okay, we'll be right back with Michael Landry to explore the importance of data driven strategies in digital marketing. Stay tuned to learn how leveraging analytics and can help you optimize your campaigns and achieve measurable results.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep, healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah, well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep, that's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, listeners. Let's examine how the influence agency uses data to track campaign performance and ensure clients achieve their marketing goals. Now, let's explore the importance of data driven strategies in measuring campaign performance and optimizing results. Now, Michael, data plays a crucial role, right? Numbers tell everything, especially in measuring the effectiveness of digital marketing campaigns. Now, how does the influence agency leverage data and analytics to, track campaign performance, identify areas for improvement, and ensure that your clients are achieving the desired outcomes that they came to you in the first place for?
Yeah, well, data is only as good as the interpretation, right? And so the first tip is that you need to make sure you're set up for measurement. I would say out of 10 clients, one might have their measurement set up exactly perfect.
Right.
Most of them are not tracking different events on their websites.
Yeah.
They're not tracking form fills. They're not tracking phone calls, and a lot of times too, they're not tracking the value of each conversion.
Right.
So you can get general reporting on how is my marketing campaign doing,
Right.
and that's important for you. But data done right is feeding that data back into the platforms themselves, right? So that you can take advantage of the AI and the machine learning that exists there too. So and when we talk about measurement, there's endless things you can measure. You can measure site traffic. That's an easy one.
Right.
You measure conversions. That's an easy one.
Right.
You can measure your conversion rate, but then you can break down what's my conversion rate based on my organic traffic. What's my conversion rate based on my paid traffic?
Right.
What's my conversion rate based on Canadian traffic versus American traffic?
Right. So you get the answers for those basic questions.
What's my conversion rate on the pages of my website that matter the most versus the conversion rate on the pages that matter the least?
Right.
Right? What are the pages getting no traffic on my site that exist on my site that I must service but actually has no value to Google? Right? So yeah, the measurement is I mean, it's a very broad statement, very, very important.
Right.
Knowing what to measure is
Right.
probably the more important thing. And then that data is good for you. But then the step further you can take is getting that data transmitted back to the platforms you're advertising with.
So that you can get more conversions out of it and actually apply the results of it.
That's right.
Wow, that makes so much sense. And you've made this entire conversation so simple and so easy to understand, I'm sure, for listeners. Now, coming to your personal life, you mentioned that you never wanted to become a business owner, right? And
Never.
usually it's the opposite. Usually people, they have this gut instinct from their heart. Can you share your journey into entrepreneurship and, the key lessons that you've learned along the way? How did this happen?
So a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're a business owner. Wow, what's it like kind of like doing whatever you want? Oh, you don't answer to anybody." Right? But actually the opposite is exactly true, is that if you're a business owner, you answer to everyone. You answer to all of your employees. Not to say that you have to do what they tell you to, but you have to look after their needs. You have to be conscious of that. And the more money, more people, more problems, right? So
Definitely, yeah.
you're definitely beholden to more people that you employ. And then to the clients, you're responsible to each and every one of them as well.
Yeah.
So the responsibility factor, people think that goes down.
That goes up.
When you're at the
actually.
top, it actually goes up. And there's maybe more stress at times because of that. It also means that at the end of the day, everything stops with you,
Mhm.
right? For example, I'm hosting, client websites. That host goes down, 100 websites go down,
Right, of course.
right? I can't just say, "Sorry, I'm with my wife right now.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just at the movie theater. I can't help you."
Because someone is
No,
dependent on you, right?
right. I need to make sure that that's being handled if someone else under me is not doing it right, and respecting the fact that they might have family obligations, right? So, um, everyone thinks that it's glamorous being a business owner, and there's certainly some perks and there's good things, but it's definitely no cakewalk, and isn't one that um, I was even considering. Growing up, I grew up, I won't say poor, and because I think that would be a disservice to my parents. I never went to bed hungry. I never went to bed cold. I never went to bed too hot.
Right.
But the idea of business ownership was never on the table at dinner, right? It was always about go to school, get a good job, earn a good wage,
Right.
and have a family, and that's it, right? And then you die, type of thing. And that, honestly, that's not such a bad deal.
They come to security when it comes to job. Business is more about risk taking. So
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
yeah. So it was never something that really came up. And then, uh, one of the best sales books out there, in my opinion, is the Little Red Book of Selling by Jeffrey Gitomer. And one of the things that he says in there is make sure if you're gonna sell something that you really, really, really believe in, right? So my journey was, I mean, it's a long story, but my journey was I was working retail, went to university. My friend who made way less money than I did was way happier working in advertising. I said, I'll just work for free. Just get me in there. I want to do something with my degree.
Yeah,
I don't want to get stuck in the retail trap.
definitely.
Then I got a job there, realized that I wasn't working at his company, but a company that his company was thinking about working for, realized that company wasn't 100% above board ethically. Left, went somewhere else. Well, that's where I learned a lot is in the next role. But there'd be problems where I'd be selling these digital solutions, these business building solutions, and sometimes they would work and sometimes they wouldn't.
Right.
But here's that person that I sat across with, and I said, "You should do this. This will be better for your business. You will make more money by doing these things." And then they trust you and they sign up with you. And then if it doesn't work out, well, number one, that's my reputation, right? Number two, that affects their lives, their business, and everyone under them, like I talked about before. And so finally what made me want to start a business was, number one, I should say, you kind of introduced me as a CEO before. That's really nice to hear. However, it's really four of us that started the influence agency out of necessity, just to run a better company. And the influence agency wouldn't be where it is unless all four of us with our different skill sets came together. But we really wanted to set out to make employee life better.
Right.
And we wanted to make sure that the clients got what they were paying for, and that we could be innovative. So I think we all became business owners out of a necessity to be able to sell products that actually worked. And that doesn't say that the old company didn't work.
Right.
They didn't have the right personnel. They didn't have the right resources.
Right.
And they left a lot of opportunity on the table. So I never wanted to be in a position again where I was onboarding new businesses, making relationships where I thought maybe they might regret meeting me in the first place. So it was really important to own that operation. But definitely the whole business entrepreneurship, it's glamorous until you do it.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I love it now, and I understand it now. But
yeah, when you're starting out, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? So
but you don't see the pebbles and rocks and glass that you have to walk across with your bare feet first,
right.
to see it. But luckily, I didn't do it alone. Like I said, I've got 3 partners, and
Right.
we work really great as a team, which is actually quite a rarity, I will say. Most people,
Right.
when I tell them I have 3 business partners, they're like, "What? How the heck does that work?" But it's actually worked out really well for us, and just keeps getting better.
Wow, that's actually a very inspiring story, Michael. Your passion for digital marketing and your willingness, to embrace new challenges have led you to build a thriving business today that, empowers other brands to succeed in the digital world. And most of all, I'd like to highlight here that you're also a very nice soul. I can see that. So, congratulations for where you've come in your life today. Now, Michael, your insights on influencer marketing, branded content, data-driven strategies, and your entrepreneurial journey have been incredibly valuable. Before we let you go, if there's one key message that you want listeners to, take away from our discussion today, what would it be?
Think about the outcome you want from your advertising before you do your advertising.
Wow. So it all boils down to asking yourself the right questions, and when you have the answers, only then take action on them. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michael. That's excellent advice. It's a pleasure to have you here on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
That was an insightful conversation with Michael Landry, co-founder and CEO of the Influence Agency, on the power of influencer marketing, branded content, and data-driven strategies in elevating brands' digital presence. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website CanadianSME.ca for more valuable information and tools. A very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, and Google, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses in Canada. Until next time, keep innovating and striving for success. We'll see you in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.